On this video, I want to go over my budget buster method so you can actually get the prospect's budget 99% of the time. Hey, I'm Jason Swank, and I ran an agency for 12 years, growing to over 8 figures and sold it. And I've been working with thousands of agency owners for the past decade and seeing what's working for them as well. And I even have another agency that we've grown to over 30 million in revenue. So let's go ahead and talk about the budget buster method. What I've seen in the past 20 years is a lot of agencies, about 50% of agencies, will not ask the prospect for their budget, which is mind-blowing to me. And I don't know if maybe they've been trained that way and they feel bad about asking for money, or they try to bury it in their website for asking, a price range, which I think they're scaring off people. And we have another video about should you actually put pricing on your website. You can click on that. But out of the 50% left, that only about 25% that actually ask for the budget get the budget. So that means 75% of you are not getting the prospect's budget. And the easiest way to get this is just to say, hey, what's your budget? And when the prospect comes back with kind of 3 answers, they either tell you your budget, and then you can kind of go down and educate them on, oh, cool, we can work with that budget, or I can't work with you on this budget, and here's why, and here's what to look out for, because you're going to have to work with someone smaller. And what happens when you usually start guiding them and acting as an advisor and helping them out for free of what to look out for, they're either going to raise their budget to what it really needs to be, or they're going to come back to you years from now, or maybe a couple months from now, of going, hey, you helped me out with this, I'm ready for you. Now, the other 2 scenarios that they'll say is, well, I'm not sure what my budget needs to be, or I don't have one. But they honestly do have a budget in mind. And so there's 2 ways to get it out. The first one has to meet your own personality, and you can kind of play with them. So when I would say, hey, what's your budget? And the prospect would say, I don't have a budget. I'd immediately go, cool. I love working with people that don't have a budget. I don't have to worry about money. We can spend tons of stuff, test out tons of things. And they'll be like, what? They're kind of like you were watching this video and you're like, really? Like you say that? But they do have an idea. And then it goes into kind of the third one. They have an idea, but you have to figure out what's the right question in order to get their budget range from them. Now, most agency owners do it the wrong way, and they say, what's your range? And they start low, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. And what you're doing, as human beings, we're programmed to remember the first number. So when you say 1,000, you're anchoring your price to $1,000 versus what I would do is I would do the reverse auctioneer. I'd say, I just need to know some kind of range of what you're trying to stay around so we know if we can actually help you out. Are you trying to stay around $1 million, $500,000, $100,000, $50,000, $10,000? What's your range? And 99% of the time they'll tell you. And then you can decide if that's a budget for you and then educate that prospect and you can move on. When you do this, you're going to get the prospect's budget immediately. And you should do this in the first meeting. I normally would do it in the first 30 minutes because I don't want to waste my time. If you can't in the first 30 minutes figure out what the prospect wants, where they're going, where they're at, what their biggest challenges are, and what their budget is, you're doing something wrong. And you need to come to us to help you out with that. Now, there is another scenario where the prospect, you give them a range and they still don't know, and you know that this company has money. They just lack the clarity of what they actually need. And what you can do, because all the other agencies are going to lob over a price, lob over a proposal, but how you can stand out is do what I call this foot in the door offer, saying, hey, I know there's a lot of unknowns, and it seems like, why don't we meet for an hour? Now, I do charge for this hour, and we're going to break down where you're going, where you're at, what the biggest challenge is. And we're going to help you develop a high-level plan. And there's 3 possible outcomes. You'll love the plan, you'll go do it yourself. You love the plan, you'll want to work with us. You don't like the plan, I'll give you your money back. So there's nothing for you to lose. What you're doing is you're helping them gain clarity. You're building trust. They're already paying you. Now they're 20 times more likely to pay you again. And they're going to have a lot better detailed process. The other thing I didn't tell you, a lot of times when you do find out the budget from the prospect, sometimes that is going to be so much higher than what you are going to charge. And if you went into this engagement or this pitch and you told them the pricing, and then you found out their pricing later on, they're probably not going to choose you because they're going to devalue your work. Case in point, I had a company I never heard of ask me to come pitch them on a website, pitch them a $20,000 website, and they laughed at me. I went back, we lost that deal. They were anticipating $300,000, and that company was Berkshire Hathaway. So you need to ask the prospect's budget every single time and use the budget buster method and the strategies I just walked you through in order to make sure you're setting it up right from the get-go. If you do this, you're going to be way more successful. Well, I hope you like this video, and we have a lot of other videos for you. Over here, there's a video if you want to know how to attract the perfect clients. And over here, we talk more about the foot in the door offer and building a sales system and building a sales team. And I'd love to hear your comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, have a swank day.